Fabulous. Okay, good evening, everybody. So welcome to tonight's training. It is the 30th of May, 2021. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. So Zach has asked me to train tonight on social media. And my initial thought was, have we not like trained that to death? But what he said is that some of the things that I do, other people don't do, and they don't necessarily know. So there's quite a lot of new people. So I'm going to kind of introduce myself so you know who I am, because I don't know everybody. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Michelle Stevens and I am living in Manchester. I'm a southerner from the UK, but I live in Manchester now. I've been with Isogenics since the pre-launch into the UK. So myself and Emma partnered with Zach and Emma Poley, for anyone who doesn't know Emma, partnered with Zach and Eden 4.5 years ago, 5 years ago in December. And that was the launch into the UK of Team Easy into Europe. My background is as a physiotherapist, and I've been in network marketing coming up for 8 years. I stumbled into network marketing, working as a physio. I'd had some surgery, wanted to lose some weight. I started on a health journey. I naturally told people about it. I'm one of those people that recommends things all of the time. I'm a natural, what you might call a networker. I've recently bought a hot tub and I've sold 3 of them and not made a penny out of it. So I'm just one of those natural people. But when I started in network marketing, I didn't really have time to network as such. And my network itself, in terms of who I knew, was quite small. So I want to share with you that if you want to build on social media and you don't have a big network on social media, that doesn't mean that you can't be very, very successful. So just as a little bit of a backstory, my Facebook had 200 friends when I started in the network marketing industry, and that was the only social media platform I used. For 6 years, I only built on Facebook. 2 years ago, I started to build on another social media platform, mainly because I'd exhausted my network. So I had 5,000 friends and I had to then keep deleting to add, and I found that quite dry, really. So I started to implement the same strategies on another network, another social media platform. And when I started on LinkedIn 2 years ago, I had 23 connections. I'd never posted in my life. And I now have 19,000 connections. So just so you know, in the last 4 years, I've enrolled 503 people. But the biggest part is 452. I've done some numbers because Zach asked me, were cold market that I didn't know. And 95% of them came from social media. And 90% of them people came to me, as opposed to me asking them. So what I'm going to share with you is some of the things that I do on social media, so that if you guys want to build on that you build on social media. Now, one of the first things that I wanted to kind of emphasize is that I use social media to attract people to me. And then I take it offline to help them get started with a discovery call. But likewise, I also, if I meet people out and about, I take them online, like what Eden said. And it's actually the online presence that often converts the people you meet in the real world as well. So they work hand in hand together. But it's about building those relationships. So there are loads of different social media platforms. I was trying to think, what's the new one? Is it Clubhouse? Yeah, I have no idea about that. But there's Facebook, there's LinkedIn, there's Instagram. They're probably the big three biggies. And then we have TikTok, we have Snapchat, and obviously, as I say, Clubhouse. But the principles of what you apply are the same, whatever the platform. There are a few different nuances. I can teach people on LinkedIn and Facebook. There's lots of people that can teach people on Instagram. We've also got training on Team Easy. But the principles are, you want to find people who are interested in what you have and people to be able to see you. So your goal is to find the right people and for them to see you. Does that make sense? So my first tip before I go into sort of the 5 steps that I do is to master one platform. Don't spread yourself too thinly. Like I mentioned, for the first 6 years, I purely built on Facebook. I only went on LinkedIn 2 years ago and I built that from scratch, as I mentioned. And I have lots of time. I am now full-time in network marketing. I have been for the last 5 years, as I say, my physio, and I have a lot of time to be able to build on one platform effectively takes time. Most of you, may forgive me if I'm wrong, are probably doing this alongside working part-time, full-time, alongside lots of family commitments. So what a lot of people do is they post on all the different platforms, they post on Instagram, they post on LinkedIn, they post on Facebook, and that's great. But if you're just posting and praying, then you may get lucky, you may get hits. But what I do is I work social media. I treat it as a craft so that I can attract people to me, and I study it and I see what's happening. So I see what leads I've got. I work through that pipeline. I then look at how do I need to increase that pipeline if I do. And as I say, the principles are the same. So you might see that Amanda is a top enroller and she's doing that mainly on Facebook. So I have to go on Facebook. I have to do that. You might see that Emma's smashing it on LinkedIn right now. So I have to go on LinkedIn. I have to go there and do that. You might find that people are doing really well on Instagram. As I say, I'm a dinosaur on Instagram. But you don't need to do that. What you want to do is look at the different principles. What are those people doing? And how can you do that on the platform that feels good for you? Even now, and I'm full-time in network marketing, I have more time than probably anyone you know, because I share my kids with their dad. I've got so much free time, and that's not to boast at all. Sometimes it's not great, but I don't have time to build 100% on two platforms. So what I find is, even though I build on Facebook and LinkedIn, I'm either all in on LinkedIn or I'm all in on Facebook, and I dabble on the other. But because I've been doing it for a number of years, I can do that. And what I want you guys to be able to do is, if you're building on social media, that you make it effective, you make it work for you in the way that it should do. Does that make sense? So choose one platform, go all in on that platform, and don't just post and pray. Because if you are just posting on different platforms and hoping for something to stick, as I say, you may get some results, but you might not. But you can work it from that. And like I mentioned, there's different nuances for the different platforms, but the principles are the same. But the first thing you need to do before you do anything is to know who your ideal client is. So if you haven't done any time working out who your ideal client is, who is your ideal customer, who is your ideal business partner, who would you like to work with? If you don't have that in mind, or you're not clear, then effectively you're posting to everybody and you're looking for everybody. Social media is a very, very noisy platform. So you need to stand out. You need to be known as XYZ. You need to be the person that someone comes to because they resonate with you. They really build that relationship with them. If you're talking to everybody, you won't be effective, because you won't stand out. There's so many people selling different things on social media. Why would they come to you? So you need to know who your ideal partner is, your ideal client. So there's a couple of ways that you can do that if you haven't done it. There's MYKO training, where I went into that, and that is in the big European group. You'll be able to watch that training system, go back and do that before you do anything else. Secondly, there is the Team Easy training. Step one, the executive launch, gets you to look at what are the ideal character traits that you're looking for in your ideal business partner, so that you can start. If you were on training, I think it was last week or the week before, no, it was the week before, because Eden was on it, and she talked about wearing the prospecting hat and going out with intention, and how the right people will show up. And 100%, if you know who you're looking for, those people show up, and it's mind-blowing. If you don't, then you get all sorts of different people showing up, and it's diluted in that sense. So it's really important that you get very, very clear on who you want to attract, and don't just look at, oh, Donna's looking for single mums, I must look for single mums because she's successful. It's got to feel authentic for you. Who is going to be so a lot of people tend to look for fitness professionals, because fitness professionals are people that are known, liked, and trusted, and so people will maybe join them because they know that they're gonna get good results, because if they say it's good. But if you don't resonate with a personal trainer or a fitness professional, and you have no experience in that, how successful do you think you will be in attracting that person to partner with you in the first place? Now, I don't have, in my 500, I think I've enrolled 2 personal trainers. And I've got a background in physiotherapy, but that's not my forte. I look for women. I work with mums generally But that doesn't mean I don't have some successful men. I don't have some people that aren't mums that are part of my business and part of my customer base. Because the more that I stood out, the more people come to you. There is anyone that comes to you. I had someone yesterday, Michelle, do you help men too? And I don't talk about men on my social media. So once you know who you're clear at doing, we're going to go into the 5 steps how you can build successfully on any of these platforms. It's exactly the same. So the first thing is you need to post content every single day, not once a week, not every 4 days, not 2 weeks and then don't post again. If you are building on social media, do it properly. If you're not, that's fine. If your main basis is networking in person, doing shake tastings, going out and about, meeting people like I've seen Kelly's been doing in Spain, which I'm sure she's had lots of fun doing, then great. But if your basis is you want to attract people on social media, you need to show up every single day in, day out. I have shown up on Facebook every day for 8 years. Now, that doesn't mean I'm posting loads of stuff. If you look at my social media today, I've not even mentioned Isogenics, but I'm showing up. You want to have a mixture of posts that are results-based, lifestyle, who are you, and how you can add value. Now, that doesn't mean you're adding value and giving people top tips on water or exercise. How can you add value to your ideal client? And now, if you're clear on your ideal client, you will know the things that they want to know about. So I do a lot of motivational quotes. I have lots of conversations where I talk about family, like parents and things like that, because that is, other parents will resonate with that and feel like that. What it does is it builds your relationship. So if you're building a cold market, you need people to know, like, and trust you. So they need to know who you are. They need to be really clear who you are, so that when they land on your profile, they say, yes, I like this girl or man. No, I don't. And it's okay if they don't, because you're not looking for everybody. And if you are looking for everyone, like I said, you dilute yourself. You also, when you're posting content, your content should resonate with your ideal client. So if your ideal client is a fitness professional, you're not necessarily going to post about mums. If your ideal client is mums, or it's couples, you're going to post a relative result post, or anything you post is talking to your ideal client. It's either adding value to them, it's identifying their pain points so they resonate with you, it's offering them a solution as to how you can help them achieve their goals and desires. And it's just really talking to them. So when you think about your social media, is that talking to your ideal client? If it's not, don't post it. So it's very rare that you will see me post a male result or talk anything about fitness professionals, even though some of our most successful business partners in this team is a fitness professional in the fact of Michael. But you won't hear me talk about that, because that's not who I'm necessarily looking for. Now, don't get me wrong. If a Michael showed up, I'm not going to send him packing, obviously. But I mean, I'm sure we'd all like a Michael, but that's not who my ideal partner is, because the likelihood of me resonating with Michael, even with the level of success I've had in Isogenics, and even though we get on great, as in first initial meeting, it's very unlikely he would resonate with me, and he wouldn't necessarily be attracted to do what I was doing, even though Isogenics is brilliant for him and brilliant for me. Does that make sense? How often you post is entirely up to you. And it will depend on a number of things: the size of your audience and how much you use social media now. Other than once a day at least, you need to be showing up every single day. But if you only have an audience of 200, if you suddenly start posting 6-7 times, it's too much. If you don't post now, you want to build on that. So I don't want you to feel pressured. Oh my God, Michelle said I've got to post 5 times a day. I don't even post at all yet. It's got to build up. So build it and split it according results, lifestyle, and value. And think about that, so that when someone lands on your profile, they don't just see before and after, before and after, before and after, join my team, or join my 30-day reset. Because what do you think they're going to say when they see that? Or what are they going to think? They're most likely going to think that that's all you're interested in, and that you're just another one of them, as it were. Whereas you want them to land on you and go, there's something about Tommy, can't quite work it out, but he's really positive, his energy is amazing. Or Sigrid, like, I just love what she does. I really feel like I know her, even though I've not met her. The amount of people that have said to me, they feel like they know me, and probably out of 5,000 friends, probably 4,900 on my Facebook, I don't know, never met in my life. Maybe a bit, not quite as many, but it's not many. It's really not that many. As I say, I wasn't someone that used social media, but what I saw was that was a quick, easy way for me to reach more people. I was a Southerner living in the North, so I wasn't near my network anyway. I had 2 small children. I was married at the time, and my husband was working evenings. I didn't have time to go out and meet people. So how could I build this business and be successful? So how much you post is up to you, but people need to land on it and see you. So if you want to post a before and after every day, which most days I do, you need to have other posts on there so that you show people who you are. Step 2, or the second thing that I do, is add new connections. So as Donna calls it, it's your theatre or your cinema room. So fill it. You have Facebook, you can have 5,000 friends. LinkedIn, you can have 30,000 connections. Instagram, I think it's unlimited. So I think you can have as many as you want on Instagram. As I say, that's not my forte, but I have played around with it, and it's the same principles in terms of what you're doing. How are you going to add those connections? So add friends of friends, add people that are active, people that are commenting, people that are posting, add people that are clients' friends. So when you get a new customer, add some of their friends, because the chances are that they're going to have friends that are also interested, which then leads it very nicely to say, look, Adele, your friend Sigrid's interested in this. She's come to me. If you join up as an associate, this is what you'd earn. Would you be interested? It's a really sometimes very nice way to get that sort of sharing element going on. You can also add people from different groups. On LinkedIn, you want to add people that are active. So people that are commenting on other people's posts shows that you're active. And it's the same on all the platforms. You want to add people every single day. Now, some of the platforms restrict you on how many you add. Facebook doesn't restrict you at all, as long as you don't add people with no mutual connections. If you're adding people with no mutual connections, you're first of all likely to get a lot of people not accept, first of all. But secondly, you might find that you can only send 40, and then it will block you. It will say you've sent too many out, like you're spamming. LinkedIn, you're only allowed to send 100 connection requests a week, which is a bit rubbish. That's recently changed, and there isn't a way around that at the moment. The only thing I would say is don't waste time studying someone's profile before you add them, because it's a numbers game. And you could be studying the client's profile and find the best business partner, the best customer, but at that time they're not open. So you might have studied them and got, oh my God, I really want them to work with me. They're absolutely incredible. I've watched them. I'm going to send them a friend request. I'm going to send them a connection request. But at that time, you don't know what's going on in their life. So they may not be open. So what I tend to do is I add, and then once they've accepted, that tells me they're open to the connection. So I will then maybe take a bit of time to look at their profile. And that really, if I'm being honest, depends on what leads I've got. Because if I have a lot of leads, I won't study someone's profile. I'll wait for people to come to me. But if I don't, then I will be more proactive, and I will reach out and say, hey, it's great to connect with you. Hope you're having a great bank holiday and enjoying this wonderful sunshine that we're having. Have you had a good day? Have you had a good weekend? So I would just start a general high conversation, and then I'll see if they're open to talking. And if they are, then I will if they're open to talking, then I will study their profile, because now they've accepted. So they're open to connecting. Now they're open to talking. So now I'll spend time studying your profile and see if you're someone I want to invest some time in getting to know you, to ask you maybe about the business or the products, depending on what the conversation leads with. So that's connections. So content is number 1, adding connections or friends every single day. The third one, which is probably one of the most important, but the one that people do least of, is engaging. Every day you need to engage on your network's post. This builds your relationship with them online. This gets them to get to know you, because you're showing up, you're being a raving fan of your network, you're celebrating their wins, you're offering advice, you're offering recommendations, You're just being a raving fan. Now they're getting to know you. But the other thing it does is it boosts your algorithms, because if you start having a conversation on the comments, that tells Facebook algorithms that you're interested in each other's content. So they're going to see now your content. So there's a couple of reasons why engaging is so important. Thirdly, it increases your visibility. And the more people that see your content, the more people are going to ask you about what you do. So it's really important that you show up. Now you can do these numbers, add in and engage in on a small number where you say, I'm going to add 10 a day, I'm going to do 5 minutes of engaging, and you'll see results with that. But if you want to build quick and build successfully and get some real momentum, add more, do it several times a day, engage more often. I know when Donna was running for executive last year, she was engaging 3-4 times a day, because that kept boosting her profile, so that people are, so she's showing up. So the more people that see your content, because if your content is brilliant but no one sees it, it's pointless. If your content is brilliant but your network's small and you're not building it, it's pointless. Does that make sense? I add as many as I need to. When I was building, I was add. Every time I went for a wee, I added. And I'd be in the toilet a little bit longer, because it was the only time I had a bit of peace and quiet from the kids. I'm having a wee, and I'd be adding. And I did that with, I haven't done 10 connection requests a day on LinkedIn to build in 2 years to 19,000. So I'm a bit of an adder. I'm a bit of an adding frenzy girl, but I don't message those people. But what I then do, if I need to message them because I'm low on leads, I will then message. And if I was starting out, when I first started on LinkedIn, I did message everybody with a hey message, and that boosted my algorithms, so that then I got more people asking me. And if I need leads, I will message people, and 9 times out of 10, I'll send 20 messages in 5 minutes, and then someone will come back and say, how did you know I wanted to lose weight? Or how did you know I might be interested in what you were doing? I might only get one from that, but you just don't know. It's really, really powerful. The 4th step is to chase those likes. So this is something that I've done every day for about 6 years, and it was a huge game changer. So you want to chase likes on every single post that you get, you do. So every bit of content. So can you see, if you're building on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and you're chasing likes of every single one, how that's really time consuming? And if you're building this in the pockets of your day, you haven't got time to do that effectively. So it's much better to really focus your time on one and really master it and decide which one's better for you. So every post, chase the like. So if it's a normal post, like I've been to the beach today, I've been for a run, tomorrow I will chase those likes. Hey, Lizanna, hope you're well. I just wanted to say thank you for supporting my post about me going to the beach. It was a big thing for me to do. I don't usually go anywhere on my own, but I absolutely loved it. I hope you had a great weekend too. What did you get up to? So I'm starting a conversation. That's going to build my relationship with my person, but it's also going to boost my algorithms, increase my visibility. So again, they're then going to see more of my content. So if then what I'm doing is something of interest to Lizanna, she's more likely to automatically say, what is this 30-day reset you do? What is this business you do? I'm looking at a side hustle. But I've built the relationship with her by thanking her. People like to get a message thanking. They don't like to get a message saying, join my team, because they get a lot of that. And not many do the chasing likes. If it's a direct post, like a 30-day result or an ISA body challenge or a business success story, then I say feel free to be direct in your ask. They like to post that is relative to what we offer. So it's okay and perfectly okay for you to say, hey, Kelly, hope you're well. Hope you had a good weekend. Thank you for supporting my post on Donna's phenomenal transformation with our 30-day reset or our 16-week challenge. Would you be open to learning more about the nutrition system she's been using? They're either going to say, if you want, you can say, or is it for support? I don't tend to say that, but you can if you felt like that's a bit too direct. They're either going to say no, they're going to say yes, or they're going to ignore you. You don't get anything else, nothing else. They'll say, no, I was just offering support. So I think, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. or they say yes. So then you go into the template in terms of like finding out what their goals are, what they're wanting to achieve, and doing what you would normally do with a lead. The third option is they just ignore you. So what? You've not lost anything. You've at least asked the question. And the fifth step is to follow up. And this is where most of you don't follow up because you feel like you're badgering people. So we have a follow-up system on our training site that starts at 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, until. I slightly vary that because I feel that 2 days to 2 weeks is too long. So I do 2 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, and every 4 months, non-stop, every 4 months. I'm still doing it with some that I've spoken to 4 years ago. Every 4 months I show up. Hi, Lizanna, how you doing? Just thought I'd check in, see how you're doing. And I vary what I say. It could be how are you getting on with your health goals. It could be have a look at her profile. How are you getting on with whatever it is that's going on in your life? Hi, Kelly, I see you've been in Spain. Did you have a nice time? Because what am I doing? I'm continuing that relationship. I'm building that relationship. I'm boosting my algorithms. I know that Kelly is interested in what I do, and that when the timing is right, I want Kelly to choose me. Does that make sense? So it's really have a clear follow-up system. So I use Excel. I'm really geeky. The minute someone says yes to asking to take a look, or they ask me, they go on my follow-up list. It's a simple name and a date for 2 days. I have a filter on the dates, which means I can come to today's date and see everyone I need to speak to on the 30th of May. That is about as technical as I get, but that's what I do. On my follow-up list is only people that have asked me they'll ask me about the products or the business, or I've asked them and they've said yes. All the other conversations I might have, which could lead to hundreds in a day, unless we get to that point or they ask me, they don't go on my follow-up list, because I don't have endless pointless conversations. I trust that by doing the steps above, that the right people will show up for me and the right people will ask me when they're ready, because I'm following them up, I'm engaging on their posts, I'm adding new connections, I'm posting content to my ideal client. And I can't believe I did that on 30 minutes dead on. Any questions? I thought it might be finished before that, but are there any questions? Don't you use Penny? No, I don't. Not gonna lie, it's not quick enough for me. I have on my Facebook follow-up 450 people, and on my LinkedIn I have 300 now. So it's too quick. It's not quick enough. And you, Louise. Anyone got any questions? Feel free to ask. I'm happy to go over a few minutes if you want, or I'll just end. Was that helpful? Is that something you guys don't know? I very rarely ask people to take a look. I actually wrote that 90% of my enrollments come to me. But that's how I do it. Because if you just post and wait, nothing will happen. Or you might get the odd thing. Cool. Excellent. Fantastic. All right. Well, I will, if no one's got any questions, I will stop the recording.